It was like not even direct.
And listening to yourself, not doing what other people expect.
Leader, and then you act from you just acting in that moment. Hello and welcome to Change Makers. My name is Leanna Martins, and today I'm very excited to interview Tessa Mulcair from Youth Empowerment Support Services. So, Tessa, you and I met years ago because I was wanting to raise money for YES. And I have really had such a great experience. And I just loved, honestly, I think that you're pretty awesome. So that's a big piece of why you're here. And you guys do a lot of really great work. So I'm just curious, was there anything in your youth and how you were raised that informs service work for you?
Yeah, I think I had a bit of a unique youth experience in that I lost a brother fairly young, and so it was about a month before my 16th birthday that I had 4 brothers at the time. I'm down to 2, but the first one that I lost was he was 17 and he passed away from cancer. And previous to that, my youth was I didn't have the words back then for it, but now I know I was depressed. But
yeah.
That back then it wasn't really something that was
it was like
understood, right? Down. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even appear down. I was one of those people that had kind of like a smiling depression where I was everything to everyone and I seemed very happy and I seemed very whatever, but I was very suicidal. I was anorexic. I hated myself. And when my brother passed away, I kind of hit this turning point where I honestly sat on my bed and I said, you know what, this is the perfect excuse. And if there was ever a time for me to kill myself, it is now, because people will understand and it'll be less of an impact on them. And if I don't do that, if I don't die, then I need to start living.
Mm-hmm. So you were 16 years old and you didn't have to be a therapist, you didn't have to be a psychologist, you didn't have to be a shrink. You just had to show up and answer and just be there for that kid in that moment.
And in the end, my own experience of having been suicidal myself didn't really matter.
Really?
The way that I thought it would. I think the one benefit it gave to that and kind of working with youth in general is I didn't have the fear of it because I'd also been there. So I wasn't scared when they said something scary.
Yes.
So
22 years in this industry, and there's no doubt that you are an expert. You've been doing this since you were a kid, since you're 16 years old. So I now know, and we all know what informs your work and what informs your passion. What would you say to other people who think that they can't make a difference?
I think it relates back to what I said of the only thing that I needed to do the suicide crisis line was to really be able to listen. I could do that without fear because of my life experience. Everybody has something to contribute. If volunteers for YES, for example, a lot of people, they are very intimidated to start volunteering or start doing these things because they think that they have to be, an expert in something, or they're going to be scared of something. But you should only have that feeling if you're trying to do something that you're actually not probably good at and don't have the expertise in. There are a ton of things that I guarantee everybody has already in their tool belt that they can help with. Do you know how to mow a lawn? Did you know that a lot of charities have lawns? You could go and mow a lawn. I did not know that. Right?
I love it. So what Tessa's saying is there's a place for everybody and anybody to take positive action, large or small. It could be the smallest thing, like mowing a lawn. I love it. So if people want to find out about how they can step in and support in their own best way, then we can reach you, or you can reach YES, it's going to be YES, not you in particular, at YES.org, which is YESSORG, which you will see on the screen. I have one final question for you. I'm going to ask. Okay, do you believe that you were living your life's purpose?
Yeah. I can't imagine doing anything else. I think everybody works in this field. We are all very aware that we could make more money in business, taking our skills and applying them to the private lens would be much more profitable. There's nobody who's here that's not here because they love it, right? Like that's why we do it. It's you're investing in in these youth, in my case, right, or any kind of charity work, you're passionate about it. You're passionate about the animals that you're helping. You're passionate about that. Like you're there because it's something that you feel very driven to do. So when you're doing the work, of course it's fulfilling. I think on my deathbed, I don't want to think about anything because I want to be at a point where I have done everything that I needed to do and most of what I wanted to do. And I can just have peace because I did it. I'm not going to be there like, oh, I should have done this more, or I should have done that, or I wish I would have contributed, or maybe I shouldn't have done that. No, because if I feel that way now, I need to do it. And so that's how I live my life, is I'm just very much like, if it's something that will help contribute to society, that will pull somebody else up, that's what I live for.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming. I believe that there's a lot of positive, amazing, just great stuff in that I hope that it's moved you and inspired you to look at where can you step in your best way to make a positive change, because there is a way and you are valuable and you can make a difference in other people's